11 seconds, Roethlisberger going for Ebron, makes the catch, and he's inbounds. That's going to run this game out. Down to 2, down to 1, and the Washington football team with the upset in Pittsburgh, handing the Steelers.
Hold on, the audio's got to transfer because I have to start the microphone, so you're going to have to deal with shit audio for a second. There we go. Now we're all linked up. We're all good to go. So, Pittsburgh just lost. You guys saw my live reaction to that. Are we going to fire Randy Finkner now? Please? We're in 2-minute drill, and you run a screen pass, and then it was a draw, and then a screen pass, and then a draw. What the fuck are you doing? I know we're 11-1, but we're playing like a 9-7 team. Big takeaways. Our defense is getting injured and hobbled. We lost Spillane. We lost Joe Hayden for the second half. And I think that's it. But Mike Hilton had a great game. TJ Watt had a great game. But Washington had a good second half. They made the adjustments, man. And I think in my wallet winners, I said Washington would cover this game. And, I honestly almost had it as my upset of the week just because Pittsburgh, I haven't liked the way they've been playing, man. They haven't been able to run the football. I mean, Ben had to throw 53 times, and he didn't even throw for 300 yards. And how many drops did Pittsburgh have in this game? I mean, Ebron alone had like 7 drops. Sorry, my phone's blowing up because all my friends are going to be texting me about this. So, yeah, I think this is probably one of the best things for the Steelers because they needed a loss eventually. I think this will also just take off all the hate. Can't wait to see all the comments on Twitter about how they're a horrible team. Even though, the Broncos, who Pittsburgh almost beat Chiefs last night. And then the Giants, who Pittsburgh beat the Seahawks. But, that doesn't matter because it's literally just Steelers hate. Who knows why? I think being 11-1 is probably one of the best, or at the current pace, 11-1 right now, I think it's one of the best things Pittsburgh can have just because, you just lost to a 4-7 team, which is embarrassing. I think we're starting to see how important James Conner is to the team, not just by running the ball because we don't really do that anymore, but he's a good pass blocker. Also, real quick, this is going to be my little mini rant. The refs in this game sucked ass, okay? I know that the stigma is that the Steelers get a lot of the calls, and I will say Pittsburgh's scheme is built for getting calls. They throw deep balls. They have a big quarterback, which means you're going to get a lot of roughing the passer calls. When you're going deep, you're going to get a lot of those pass interference calls, which then inflate your average yards of penalty per game. So Pittsburgh's game plan and scheme are built around that, so that's why there's so many penalties. It's not because the refs love them. But that fucking at the end of the half, that bullshit where they stopped the clock and allowed Washington to kick a field goal, that was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit, and everybody knows that. That game was 14-0 going into half. Turning moment of the game was the 3rd and 15 where Washington ran a screenplay that picked up 31 yards. After that happened, I knew they were going to score a touchdown on that drive, and then I knew Pittsburgh was going to go 3 and out. I was literally texting JP about it because JP never watches Steelers games, and he never believes me. Do you believe me now? Our OC is ass. All we do is write. He texted me. Let's see. What was the greatest text JP has sent me in the past couple of days is, because we were talking. No, we weren't even talking about it. He just brought it up, and JP hates the Steelers. He literally does. He was only watching the game because he put a bet down on the game. Yeah, he said it literally has to be illegal to run this many screen passes. Like JP said that, and this is straight up a world record. That's what he said. So, yes. I'm being serious. I know we're 11-1. Who watched that game and thought Pittsburgh was a 11-1 team? I didn't. I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm like one of the most critical Steelers fans. And the biggest thing for Pittsburgh is to fucking fire Randy Finkner. I don't get it. How? How do you watch a game like that, or the Ravens game, or the Cowboys game, or literally any game and go, our team is fine? Fucking fire Randy Finkner. I don't care if we're 11-1. I don't care. Ben honestly does a better job play calling than Randy Finkner does. I think Ben overall had a good game. I mean, the Washington defense is for real. They're ranked 2nd in the pass in the entire league. So give them the respect there. If we had a run game, it probably would have made this game a lot better. That's what I'll say. Yeah, no, this is a humbling moment for Pittsburgh. I think it's exactly what they needed, because if they go into Buffalo 12-0, like, that's an immense amount of pressure because that's their first real opponent. Yeah, no, I am not. Mona, you get to see my live reaction to whatever it is you just sent me. I'm texting Amona right now. You guys got to watch this. Hey, Mona, I'm just going to tell you this right now, okay? I'm just going to tell you this right now. Fuck you. From the bottom of my heart, I love you. Fuck you. When the Patriots suck ass this year, I didn't rub it in your face. Don't do this. Don't do this. You're better than this. Minecraft's better than Roblox. Block me. I dare you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm disappointed. Can't say I'm surprised though. I was not happy with the what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Another case. It's 3rd and 15 and you run a fucking draw? A draw. We were inside our 10 and you run a draw. At least, I'm not saying you're going to pick it up, but at least get some fucking yards to push the punt team back, because Jordan Berry's he actually probably deserves the fucking game ball. He shanked so many punts, but he still probably deserves the game ball. No, Amona, the one I'm recording right now. Oh my God. I'm so upset at Pittsburgh, not because of the game plan. I expected this. I honestly expect this is going to be a low-scoring game. My score prediction was 22-16, and the final score was 23-17. So I was pretty dang accurate on what this game was going to be. Another thing, Pittsburgh, why are you playing so much zone? Why are you playing so much? You are one of the highest blitz rate success percentage team defenses in the league. One of the highest percentage of successful blitz rates when it comes to sacks, pressures, and causing interceptions and or batted balls. And you don't blitz? You do not blitz. You run a zone, which was what allowed the Logan Thomas touchdown, and which is what allowed basically them to seal the game with their first field goal inside the 2 minutes, because they just dumped the ball off to the running back. Hey, if they're going to dump the ball off to the running back, use Avery Williamson, who you guys fucking traded for, who's fast and is a speed receiver. He's not a Spillane. He's probably that's actually kind of an interesting conversation. He's not a Spillane. He's not a Devin Bush, but he's good. We got him for his speed, so he could be somewhat of a Devin Bush fill-in. Put him on a fucking running back. Seriously. All you have to do is run a man blitz. Our defense is not good in the zone. There's one person on our team that's good in the zone. That is Minka. Minka's the only person. So you know what you do? You run a straight blitz and you leave Minka in a deep. That's all you gotta do. It's in a third. You just leave him in a third, and then he can read it like he's a center fielder for baseball. That's all you gotta do. How can I go? There were so many times where I was texting JP predicting what was gonna happen, because Pittsburgh is the most predictable team in the world. So they go to Buffalo. Yeah. Also, keep in mind, they had to play a game in 4 games. They had to play this game after 3 days of practice. So that is a pain in the ass. And now they have a short week again because they have to play Buffalo on Sunday Night Football. Quick score prediction for that one. Don't know what the over/under is. Don't know what the spread is. Buffalo should be favored in that game if I have to imagine. But it'll probably be like 24-23 Buffalo. Honestly, games in Pittsburgh, games in Buffalo, so that'll have a big sway. Amona said, let's go. It's not a good thing that you're in the video. I'm disappointed, but I can't say I'm surprised. Like, seriously, Pittsburgh played exactly how they play all season. And I'm happy that if there was one team I would have wanted them to lose to, it would have either been Washington or Cincinnati, because if you lose to a bad team, you get ripped a new one. I honestly thought going into the game, I thought the biggest thing that would have pushed Pittsburgh to win this game was the fact that Mike Tomlin ripped them a new one. Mike Tomlin, he said straight up, like, we sucked. And they did. They sucked. I mean, not gonna lie, if Ray McLeod doesn't muff that punt, it's probably close to a shutout game, because that was the only time they were able to drive the ball on them. And then, of course, the RG3 run where he blew out his hamstring. Well, not blew out, but he strained his hamstring. So, I mean, that game wasn't as close as the score showed. Honestly, I still think Ben's having a great season. He has 7 interceptions on 27 touchdowns. And how many? If you're a stats guy and that's like all you care about, or like if you don't watch the games, there were, I think, 9 dropped passes in this game, and there were 7 in the one before that, and I'm pretty sure 7 in the one before that. So in the span of 3 games, we have 23 drop passes. That also needs to be fixed. Yeah, Pittsburgh's getting sloppy. I think this is a humbling experience for them. I think it's probably one of the best things that can happen for them. Because here's why I think losing to Washington is one of the better things, because like if they were to lose to Buffalo next week, then, oh, we lost to Buffalo. They're a good team. They're going to take it for granted. If they lose to Cincinnati or Washington, oh, maybe we're not as good as we think. You need to put in a run scheme. You need to fucking fire Randy Finkner. Oh my God. This channel might be renamed Fire Randy Finkner because that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. I've literally been thinking about putting out a poll or like a petition saying Fire Randy Finkner to see how many signatures that gets. Because if you go on Twitter and just type in Finkner, everybody, literally there were Washington fans thanking Randy Finkner for his play calling. I don't blame them. I do not blame them. I do not blame them at all. Big Ben is the only reason we've been in these games because he has to audible these plays. Ugh. Yeah, Amona, you got me heated. For those of you that are new, this isn't supposed to be any professional things. I put these on after. Usually it's supposed to be after stuff, but like I work on Sundays, so I can't do these after Sunday game reactions. So usually just after Steeler games. So, yeah, I don't. I will say the nice thing is like I will be able to do things differently now. Like I'm extremely superstitious, and so like I sat the exact same way the entire game, except for when Ben threw the interception. I just came in here and started setting up my mic and the camera. So, honestly, the only thing that I really hate about this is the fact that online everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Pittsburgh's overrated," which is like whatever. There's no Steeler fan that will tell you that they are the best team in the league. We all know we're not the best team in the league, and now our record also does not dictate that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to see what the spleen injury is. He was holding his knee, so hopefully it's not an ACL. And Joe Hayden left the concussion. We also did have Steven Nelson. So, I mean, and then, Bud Dupree. So that's basically half our defense right there. And they're all, like, Pro Bowl caliber players. Well, Spillane isn't, but Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson, and Bud Dupree are all Pro Bowl level players. So, yeah. I don't know, man. Short week. I'm really interested to see what Mike Tomlin has to say. I am glad, though, that they're not going to go undefeated. It sucks because it's kind of cool to be undefeated, but I feel like Pittsburgh was getting more shit than ever before because they were undefeated. So, yeah, also, I'm sick and tired of those comments about how Pittsburgh's had a cakewalk schedule. I talked about that in the last video, so if you guys want to get my more in-depth take on that, you guys can watch that. But, no, seriously, I mean, they almost lost to the Broncos. Well, the Broncos almost beat the Chiefs yesterday. They barely beat the Giants. Well, we beat them by 16, but also the Giants beat the Seahawks yesterday without their starting quarterback, with Daniel Jones. So, and also we played them with Saquon Barkley. So, on your argument there, they beat the horrible Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals beat the Titans. So, what's your excuse there? They beat the horrible Browns. The Browns blew out the Titans yesterday. They barely beat the Titans. Well, the Titans are a good team. They're leading the AFC South right now, or they're tied for right now, right? After the loss yesterday. So I'm sick of those arguments. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's just people being salty that their record isn't as good as ours. That's literally all it is. I will say I don't think Pittsburgh gets the 1 seed now. If I have to guess, they'll probably drop one more game. I think they'll go 14-2. If I had to guess, they'll probably drop the Buffalo game, and then losing 2 in a row will kind of light a spark under them and help them win out through the season. But I think Kansas City's probably going to finish the season 15-1, which means Pittsburgh is going to get the 2nd seed. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Pittsburgh was a first or second round exit. I don't think Pittsburgh goes to the Super Bowl this year. Our offense just isn't good enough to do it. You want to know why? Fucking Randy Finkner, that's why! He makes me so angry. He literally makes me so angry. Like, so angry. Like, no player in the NFL makes me angry. There's not one player that I just dislike, or like NBA player. There was one, Vontaze Burfict. But you know what? Randy Finkner might make me more angry than Vontaze Burfict. Because at least Vontaze Burfict gets like attention for how shitty of a effect he has on teams. Randy Finkner, everyone's like, oh, he's the offensive genius, leading them behind this 11-1 season. No. No, Big Ben is. That's another thing. I feel like the narrative now is going to shift to Alex Smith will be the comeback player of the year because he beat Big Ben. Now, you know, if Alex Smith gets it, they're just playing it for storyline. But I mean, Ben's had a way better season. Like I said, 27-7. He's probably gonna, unless he throws only 2 touchdowns in the next 4 games, he's gonna throw for 30 touchdowns, which he's only done I think once before in his career. So, yeah, it sucks, but maybe it's for the best. So thanks for sticking around. I got one more pick left for my wallet winners. So far, I'm 4-0. I literally just need Buffalo to win by 2.5, which the spread changed to San Francisco today, so that was kind of weird. But, all right, yeah, still haven't figured out how to end these videos. So